الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, we will continue our class in benefiting and reading from the book الأجوبة الوداعية على الأسئلة النسائية, the answers of Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i rahimahullah on questions from the women. لازلنا في باب we're still in the chapter regarding verdicts connected to the matters of the menses, pregnancy, and bleeding after giving birth. So the question is تقول السائلة: رجل جامع امرأته بعد انقطاع الدم وقبل أن تغتسل فما حكمه? So a man who had a relationship with his wife after she finished her menses, after the bleeding stopped, however before she took a bath, what is the ruling? قال الشيخ رحمه الله: الصحيح من أقوال أهل العلم أنه لا يجامعها حتى تغتسل، لقول الله تعالى: ولا تقربوهن حتى يطهرن، فإذا تطهرن. إذن يطهرن يعني تنقضي يعني ينقطع الدم عنهن وتنتهي ينقضي حيضهن، ويتطهرن أي بالاغتسال. So the author rahimahullah, the Shaykh rahimahullah, he said what is correct from the statements of the people of knowledge is that it is not permissible for him to have a relationship with her until she takes a bath. After her menses, that she must take a bath, because of the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that means, and do not come to them, meaning do not have a relationship with them until they become pure. And then if they purify themselves, they become pure, meaning that their menses has ended, and they purify themselves, meaning that they take the legislative bath. قال والشاهد فإذا تطهرن. So the evidence from this ayah is the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that means, and if they purify themselves, meaning that if they take a bath, this is how they purify themselves. قال وإذا لم تجد الماء أو لا تستطيع استعماله تيممت. If she could not find the water, or she was not able to use it, then she should perform dry ablution, tayammum. قال وصلت وصامت إن كانت في رمضان أو تقضي أو تتطوع ويجوز لزوجها أن يأتيها والله أعلم. So if she performs a dry ablution, first of all in regards to the acts of worship, she's at that time she's allowed to pray, and of course she continues to fast and do whatever she needs to do from different acts of worship, because if she performs dry ablution, then she's allowed to do the acts of worship, the things that she would have not been allowed to perform before completing her menses, or when she was on her menses, and also before taking a bath, the legislative bath. And also it is permissible in that case for her husband to have a relationship with her, meaning even if she did not take a bath, if she could not find the water or was unable to use the water, and she performs dry ablution, it is permissible for her husband to have a relationship with her with that dry ablution. قال يعني ده التيمم. تقول السائلة: ما حكم عقد النكاح على المرأة الحائض? So the question is, what is the ruling of performing the marriage contract on a woman who is in her menses? قال الشيخ: يجوز. So the Shaykh rahimahullah, he said it is permissible. ولكن الطلاق يعني هنا زاد مسألة وهي مسألة الطلاق. So here he mentioned an additional benefit which is connected to divorce. So as for getting married, the marriage contract on a woman who is in her menses is permissible. There's no harm. Now there is the matter of divorce. قال ولكن الطلاق على المرأة وهي حائض يجب أن يراجعها. يعني ولا يجوز. As for divorcing a woman who is in her menses, then it is not permissible. We say it is not permissible. It is not permissible. The Shaykh rahimahullah said he must return her back. كما في الصحيح أن عبد الله بن عمر طلق امرأته وهو حائض. As in the authentic hadith, Abdullah bin Umar, may Allah be pleased with them both, that he divorced his wife when she was in her menses. فأمره النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يراجعها حتى تطهر. The Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, he commanded him to return her to be his wife until she becomes pure. والصحيح أنها تعتبر طلقة كما في فتح الباري. So he said, the Shaykh rahimahullah said, the correct opinion is that it is considered a valid divorce. It is considered a valid divorce. However, it is obligatory upon the husband to return his wife if he divorces her in her menses. ثم تقول السائلة: امرأة عادتها 7 أيام ثم طهرت ثم عاودها خروج الدم بعد يومين من الطهر. So a woman who has her menses usually 7 days, and then she finished her menses and she became pure, and then she started bleeding again after 2 days after she became pure and finished her menses. واستمر 12 يوما, and it continued for 12 days. فهل يعتبر دم حيض أم دم استحاضة? So is this considered to be bleeding of the menses or bleeding of just a vein, not her menses? وما حكم الصلاة والصيام فيه? What is the ruling regarding fasting and praying during those days, during this time? So the Shaykh, قال الشيخ رحمه الله, the Shaykh رحمه الله, he said, يعتبر دم استحاضة. It is considered bleeding of natural, just a vein. It is considered a vein, not her menses. حتى يتكرر 3 مرات, until it happens 3 times. وتنظر هل هو دم حيض أسود منتن أو أسود منتن أم ليس بدم حيض. And she should, so until it repeats, it happens to her 3 times. And also she should look, is it dark, black blood with an odor, or is it not? Which is the first case. If it's the first case, then it is blood of menses. If it is not, then it is not blood of menses. قال فإن كان دم حيض اعتبرته دم حيض. So if it was blood of menses, menstrual bleeding, then that's what she should consider it to be, menstrual bleeding. ولا تعتبره دم استحاضة, and she should not consider it to be a vein. إلا أن يتكرر معها 3 مرات فتعتبره حيضا. Unless it happens to her 3 times, then she should consider it to be her menses. فهي تميز الدم لأن دم الحيض كما تقدم أسود يعرف. So she should distinguish between the different blood, because as was mentioned before, the blood of the menses is black and has an odor, أي منتن, meaning that it has a bad smell. فأما إذا كان غير ذلك فربما يكون دم استحاضة. If it was not that, if it is different, then it might be bleeding of a vein. ولو تكرر, even if it happens repeatedly. على أن الإمام الشافعي رحمه الله يقول النساء أعرف أي بالحيض من غيره والله المستعان. Imam Shafi'i رحمه الله, he says that the women know more about the bleeding of the menses and what is considered to be from the menses and what is not. So finally, what she should do is, like the Shaykh rahimahullah said, this bleeding came back to her. She should look, is it bleeding of menses or is it not? If it is bleeding of menses, meaning it is dark in color and it has an odor, and it happens to her 3 times, 3 months in a row, that she has her bleeding continues for more than usual, then she considers that her menses has changed. She considers that her menses has changed. Whereas if it is not the blood of menses, or it does not happen to her 3 months in a row, then she considers that after her menses she is bleeding because of a vein, and that it is not her menses. Now, inshallah نكتفي بهذا المقدار. We'll conclude with this, and we'll continue in the next class if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.